to a video for one of your homework problems today. So we're going to do the one that I had converted to the scavenger hunt, but we didn't use. I know you don't really care about that, but really what you need to know is it's number 1 on your homework. So we're going to do number 1 on your homework. And it says, suppose you invested $10,000, part at 6% annual interest and the rest at 9% annual interest. If you received $684 in interest after 1 year, how much did you invest at each rate? So you have to really think about the question. We know they invested $10,000. Total, right? We know when you invest money in an account, you earn interest. And interest is equal to the money you invest times the interest rate. Interest rate. So we know that some of the money we invested, we earned 6%. Some of the money we earned 9%. But we know we earned a total of $684. So some amount of interest earned on this money, some amount of interest earned on this money. We know the total interest was $684. Now, total interest. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to define our variables. How much did you invest? And this is how much money did you invest at each rate. So we're going to say one of our variables is money invested at 6%, and the other is money invested at 9%, because there's 2 pots of money, and when you add the interest on each of these pots of money, you get 684. And we know that they invested 2 different pots of money at the beginning, but they equal $10,000. So we're going to say X is the money invested at 6%, Y is the money invested at 9%. So we talked about kind of using a shortcut. So now we have defined our variables. So this part we've done. Now we're going to write a system of equations. So we talked in class about trying to find the equals to for both equations first. We said this is invested $10,000. If we want to know how much they invested at each rate, so there's 2 chunks of money. So together, if we add those chunks of money, they're going to equal $10,000. Well, up here we said the money invested at 6% and the money invested at 9%. So our first equation is this money plus this money. We know in total we invested $10,000. Now, the interest, it says you received interest of $684. So that is our total interest, so that equals $684. Now the trick is here, we have to know our interest rate times the amount of money we invested, our interest rate times the amount of money we invested. The first thing we have to remember is you have to write this as a decimal when you're using it in equations. So if you forget how to do this, just drop the percent sign and divide 6 by 100, and on your calculator you'll see that. You should probably be able to do that by now, but no biggie if that's confusing. So now, so the interest on the money at 6% would be 0.06 times that amount of money, plus the interest earned on this money would be 0.09 times Y. So now we have our system of equations. Amount of money invested at 6% plus the amount of money invested at 9% equals a total of $10,000 invested. The amount of interest we earn on this pot of money plus the amount of interest we earn on this pot of money gives us our total interest earned. So now we have to solve them and we have to show our work. So we're going to solve here and show our work. So I know I'm going to use elimination, and I'm going to multiply this equation by negative 0.06, because if I do, then I'll have negative 0.06 plus positive 0.06, which will let me eliminate my x's. So I'm going to distribute. I'm going to have negative 0.06. So this is my first equation. This is my second equation. I'm going to rewrite my first equation after I've multiplied it by negative 0.06. Oh, and that's a negative. Negative times a positive is a negative 0.06x. Negative times a positive is a negative 0.06y. Negative times a positive, negative 600. So now I'm going to add, so this is my new version of this equation. So now I'm going to add these together. That's going to let me eliminate the x's. Now I have 0.03y equals $84. I'm solving for y. Divide by 0.03. And now I know that y is $2,800. So this is y. Now to find x, remember, all we have to do is take our y and plug it back into one of our equations. And I'm going to use this first original equation, number 1. So I don't know what x is, but I know what y is. X plus y is 2,800. We know together that money equals 10,000. So I'm going to subtract 2,800. And now I know that x is $7,200. So that's my work. And now I have to write my answer in a real world form, we said, right? There's no ordered pairs in these. So it says, how much money did you invest at each rate? So we're going to say $2,800 at, and this is y, so this is at 9%. And $7,200 is the x, so that's at 6%. And $7,200 at 6%. And so now that is number 1. Now you only have 5 problems to do. If you did what I asked you to do, come watch the video. Have a great weekend.